Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of July 17th, 2016. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This week, we have change. We have the promise of new beginnings, the promise of really what it is that we could tap into, a power that we can tap into to move our life in any direction we choose. It's an energy that is ambitious, an energy that is grounded and focused very much on the big picture. We're thinking about matters of legacy. What are we actually contributing to, and what are we actually creating right now in this moment, and how is this moment contributing to where it is that we most desire to go? That's a lot of the characteristic of this week collectively, but also individually as well. What's the smart choice? What's going to get us to a solid future? And what isn't is going to become very apparent to us now. And that truth, that realization, and in some cases that realization might be a little surprising, might even be a little bit shocking, but that is an insight that is needed if we are going to move our lives powerfully in a direction that ends up being one that we most desire to live. That is the promise with this full moon that's taking place this week. This full moon is happening in the sign of Capricorn, real grounded energy and big picture energy. This full moon is speaking in harmony with Mars, which is a very nice energy. It's an empowerment kind of energy. It's an energy that says, know yourself and take action from that place of self-knowledge. And know that as you take action, the rewards will be there. They will come. That's part of what this energy is. But what we've also got with this full moon is Uranus. And this Uranus that we've got in the sky right now is speaking with this full moon. And this is a conversation of some surprise, some tension, and the kind of surprise that can seem to come out of nowhere. And ultimately what Uranus is truth. It is awareness. Think back to 2 weeks ago. We had a new moon taking place. That new moon had truth as well to it, but it was a Plutonian truth. So what that means is being deeply honest about what you already know, what's been stirring inside for a while, what's been slowly trying to come up to the surface. That's what that new moon was like. It did have that element of truth that ultimately did empower. Even if it came on, depending on the person, more or less, it might have come on in ways that weren't necessarily always easy, but needed nonetheless. So this is kind of the same thing in that the truth is coming up. It might not necessarily be easy, but it is needed if we are going to take smart action moving forward towards being the change that we wish to experience in our own lives, but in the world as well. But the difference is this is Uranus. Uranus, you don't see coming. And sometimes that's great, right? That's a surprise that comes out of nowhere and delights. Sometimes that surprise comes up in ways that might eventually lead to things that delight, as is the case right about now, but don't always feel that comfortable in the moment. And that's the kind of energy we have right now. If you were born towards the later part of your sign, so right around the 20th of the month, give or take 5 days on either side, if you're born right around that time, you're going to feel this energy more than most. You're going to feel that surprise element more than most, but all of us out there in some way will be having a personal realization. We'll be getting a very powerful and profound and important insight that shows us the truth of our situation. And that in turn lends itself to some wonderful breakthroughs and wonderful promises coming up ahead. And I'm especially encouraged by the fact that while we're having this full moon, we've got other supremely harmonious conversations taking place, like really kind of hugging this full moon, if you will, which amplifies to me the fact that we are going to make the absolute best of whatever it is that shows up. There's lots of rational energy in the air, so we're not going to get too carried away on rhetoric or inspiration, but rather there is smartness, there is clarity, there is responsibility with this energy. So what we have happening right around this full moon is Mercury and Venus traveling quite close together these days, as they often do. We'll be speaking in supreme harmony with Saturn. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn, so there's that connection to this full moon as well. Given that these planets are speaking in such harmony to each other, Saturn with Mercury and with Venus says that level heads will prevail personally and collectively as well. So there's a groundedness to this. There's a perspective on the future. There's a desire to be honest with ourselves, with others, but also a desire to be smart and to move forward in a solid direction. As much as Uranus is that, sort of overnight change, right? Uranus is a planet that has to do with revolution. It has to do with rebellion as well. It also is a planet that has to do with equality and us moving towards greater equality. And that's what it represents for us as a collective. And that is what it represents for us individually as well, wherever it is that we are striving to experience a more level playing field, wherever it is that we are striving to free ourselves from emotional messages, any kind of bondage of the past that gets in the way of us fully living today, fully happy today, fully embracing an authentic expression of who we're meant to be in the world, any kind of messages we might have taken on, whatever that may be, any regret we might have taken on. Ultimately, Uranus blesses us with the freedom from all of that. Freedom from everything that doesn't really matter. Freedom from anything that ultimately is an opinion or a belief and instead takes us towards who it is that we truly are meant to be in the world, authentically and purely ourselves as individuals, free of cultural messages, free of family messages as well. All of that is covered under this energy. Sometimes we need to know where it is that we are not free in order to truly be free. And sometimes that message comes on very much by surprise. It isn't always what you think it is. So what I mean by that is sometimes we think, oh, I'm carrying these messages from my childhood. It's all, the fault of, and you're envisioning people from way back when. But it turns out it might not be that at all. It might have been that you actually healed that stuff like a while back, and it's actually something else. It's actually that you've taken on something else because it felt safe. It felt safe to sort of use that, not necessarily as an excuse, but I'm thinking about how we sometimes think of ourselves and conceptualize ourselves in ways that were never really ours to begin with. And this is that chance to get that clarity and to decide who it is that you want to be. And the source isn't always what you think it is. And that's part of the beauty of this energy as well, because ultimately this is empowering. Remember, that is the key word now with this particular full moon. With Mars so close by, this is an empowering energy with this harmonious Mars. And it says, know thyself and take action from that place of truth within you. That is part of what this full moon grants us now. Truth, self-knowledge, and empowered action. You add to this the sun speaking in supreme harmony with Mars as well, right around the same time. And the blessing of action is that much more amplified. Wherever it is that you desire to go, wherever it is that change needs to happen, wherever it is that you're ready to accept the things that you cannot change, and you need to summon the courage to change the things that you can, we have got a sky that is part of the mystery is going to take us each in our own individual journey down a path to help us to know exactly what that truth is for ourselves and what that courage is going to look like, and give us the absolute commitment and the absolute clarity, not only to see it and to recognize it, but also to live it. Well, thank you so much for watching the introduction. I'm truly so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It does mean so much. Thank you to you guys also who've been like sort of stepping in and helping me with the timestamps. I try to be on them. They don't always get done, and I'm so sorry about that. That's been happening lately. And I'm so grateful to those of you out there who've been stepping in and putting together those timestamps for me. Thank you. My heart is so grateful to have such loyal friends and fans looking out. I'm so grateful. Thank you. So Jupiter specials are now available. And those Jupiter specials, some people are asking, because Jupiter specials has been available on YouTube in the past, they will be available on YouTube in September. But if you want an early look at the Jupiter specials, I'd invite you to join me at my all new channel on vhx.tv. Super excited about my partnership with VHX. So it's nadiyashah.vhx.tv. The Jupiter specials for all signs are now available there, and it is pay what you want. So whatever it is that you desire to contribute towards that early look of the Jupiter specials, it would be very welcome. And I'm so grateful for the enthusiasm that's out there. Lots of Libras getting their Jupiter specials. Lots of Libras very excited about what's coming up ahead with Jupiter moving through their sign. And I've been getting lots of amazing feedbacks. As you watch those videos, there's an area there to comment. Just like you see on YouTube, you can actually comment. And the comments have been just amazing and outstanding. And I'm so grateful for your trust. Thank you so much for reaching out and for wanting that early look at your Jupiter special. So again, it is nadiyashah.vhx.tv. And I love partnering with VHX. They're an amazing organization. They have amazing customer support as well. So any issue, any reason that you need to connect with them, figure out the logistical side, they are there for you with superb customer service. And of course, I am there as well with my message and reading your comments. And it's just been so exciting. It's been so exciting for the feedback that I've been getting. And I'm so grateful that you all are enjoying those. Again, that's for an early look at your Jupiter special for your sign. And if you want, you can wait until September when they'll be posted on my YouTube channel as well. Also, I want to give a shout out to all the new people who've been joining me on Patreon. Thank you so much, all the Patreon pledges out there. Thank you for becoming a patron. And this is to be part of my next book, The Universe is Wise and Loving. So if you'd like to be part of my next book, please join me. It's patreon.com/Nadiya Shah. And it is there that we are creating a very special community. It's the first place that I go to. I get like sort of notifications in my inbox as soon as someone comments, and I'm right there connecting with you guys and communicating with you guys. And it means so much to have that love, to have that support, and to create that family on there, to create that community on there. It does mean so much. Right now, I'm sort of debating, I've been connecting with people on there about maybe doing a live stream just for patrons. And so please be on the lookout for that. And again, any amount is appreciated, or you can get one of the packages and get all kinds of bonuses, including the very first copies of my upcoming book, The Universe is Wise and Loving. Finally, webinars. The webinars are coming up. They're coming up super fast. So in the month of August, every Saturday, I will be doing a live webinar online. And you can register for these at synchronicityuniversity.com or my website, nadiyashah.com. And this really came through you. All the topics that are chosen came from suggestions from all of you, and lots of people have been registering. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing community that we create, an amazing experience as well that we create together. If you can join us live, that's amazing. I'll be interacting with you guys in real time as I'm teaching the class. And if you can not join us, then you can watch the video afterwards. There's a digital download video that is going to be yours if you register for the class that will be available afterwards. So again, that's synchronicityuniversity.com or nadiyashah.com. The first class is on progressions, the second on chemistrology, which is the astrology of relationships, like when you have a certain chemical reaction to another person, what's going on there? So we're going to be looking at that. The third class is on outer planet transits, and the fourth class is called Getting to the Heart of a Chart Fast. So it's about some quick techniques that you can use if you've only got a second. If you're out and about, you meet somebody new, they tell you how old they are, and then you find a way to get their birthday or something, which I've done. And then you want to quickly look up an app or something on your phone, and you want to check what their chart is like. What are you going to look for if you've just got a few moments to look at someone's chart? And a lot of the techniques that I'm going to be sharing there actually come from way back in the day, way back in the day when I was paying dues and I was doing astrology reading and tarot readings, actually like in nightclubs in Toronto, in downtown Toronto. I would be sitting there and I'd be talking to people over very loud music and looking at their charts. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a great way for me to kind of pay my dues and really hone my skills and stuff. And it meant a lot to me at that time. And even now, looking back, how that time shaped me and really formed the foundation of my commitment to this practice of astrology, to sharing astrology. Really, it was in those moments and those people that I met that ended up creating this amazing practice that I have today that I'm so grateful for. So I hope that you'll join me if you sign up for all four. There's sort of limited spots available for all four because a discounted rate. NadiyaShah.com. It'll be fun to meet you guys out there. It'll be such an amazing experience to share and to learn along with you. And I'm so grateful for your trust. But of course, you being here is everything. You being here is everything. You being here allows me to live my mission in the world, which is to affirm that the universe is wise and loving. The universe is wise and loving. I believe it with everything in my heart and everything in my spirit. The universe is wise and loving. You can take absolutely anything that's happening in your life and use it to move yourself towards greater love and greater wisdom. And so you being here allows me to live that mission, and my intention with these videos that I put out there is to affirm that truth in your own world and to infuse your life with some hope and some inspiration as well. And for that, I'm truly grateful. So how all this wonderful stuff speaks to you and your sign is coming up right now. Hello, Fabulous Aries. This week's full moon is happening at the very top of your sky, making it an especially important time for you. And when we've got a full moon happening in such an important and dominant position, it does represent an important time for you, an important truth, and in this case, a very important change as well. And a lot of that is thanks to Uranus. Uranus is speaking with this full moon, which means surprises will abound where it comes to your career in particular, bosses as well. And this can also be surprises in terms of you understanding what direction it is that you're meant to go in and that you desire to go in as well. There are a few ways that this can play out. Unexpected news around a boss, particularly a boss leaving. Possibly a female boss can be indicated by this energy as well. And so there's a termination, an ending of sorts, okay? So it might be that your boss changes. You might get a different boss. It might be that your boss leaves the actual company. Now, if you are, not thinking along those lines, let's say you're self-employed or you are the boss, this is about career and the career path that you're on. Understanding what it is that you're doing and the purpose behind it. Do you like it? Do you not? And understanding something about where it applies, any kind of hierarchy or power dynamics that might be there in the actual company structure that you belong to. But again, if you're self-employed, what I'm seeing happen is very possibly some experience or some opportunity might come up that seems very different than anything that you thought you wanted. And it might seem to come up out of nowhere. So there can be a change. For example, let's say that you are a singer and you've always been a singer and that's been the only thing you've been thinking about. Well, this could bring up an acting opportunity. Like that's the kind of thing we see when we have a sky like this, like a surprise and you don't really know what you feel about it. And there's something else you're trying to make happen, but then something's coming up here, something good is happening here. But this can also be, I gotta say, ultimately it will empower you, but this could also be if there was some promise or some opportunity that seemed to be there, starting to change, starting to seem like you're wondering how apparent is this? How likely is this? That can be part of this conversation as well. Also with this energy, do be mindful of life purpose also. Going through some burst of clarity, going through some change, and it's okay to change. Give yourself permission to do that. If you understand your direction and where you're going one way and then new information comes in, allow yourself to change towards a more rewarding path. Where it comes to matters of love, we've got Venus in super harmonious position, making a supremely harmonious contact with Saturn. This is all about the long term, and this is lucky, this is sweet. This is quite the blessing to have. Great time for you to be flirting, to be out and about. A connection you make very well could be one that lasts a very long time. And if you are in an established bond, this is romance, this is fun, this is a deepening of the commitment that you share. Hello, Fabulous Taurus. This week we've got a full moon happening in a harmonious sign to you, fellow earth sign Capricorn. And having a full moon in this area of the sky does suggest some unexpected news, some change, some need possibly to do a little scrambling. where it comes to matters of higher education, immigration, citizenship, long distance travel, also politics and law, legal matters also covered under this full moon. So do expect things to move quickly, maybe unexpectedly. Ultimately, any news, any developments that show up now do empower you, do spur you forward. And so whatever comes up is not a final answer necessarily, even if it's disguised as such, but it's only an opportunity to further empower yourself. Now, this can actually work very much to your advantage. If you are a student and there was a school that you weren't so sure about and then you didn't get into, and then that was okay. Well, now you might get a call saying that you did get into that school, that your name's come up on the waiting list. Even though you've made all these plans for this other school, now you're starting to think, well, wait a minute, this is actually pretty good. This actually could work out much better to my advantage. So these are the types of situations we can see if you've been involved in any kind of legal matter, or as I said, immigration, citizenship. Those matters can come up now for not only awareness, but possible and very quick resolution as well. If you like it, great. If you're not crazy about the solution or the resolution that shows up, you will be empowered and you will know what your next steps are. Even if it looks like there aren't any next steps, you do have some next steps that you can take and they will start to become clear to you. For those of you, when we look at love, for those of you in an established bond, this is going to be a very nice time. We've got all this energy at the very base of your chart, which says that you are feeling more at home with this person that you love, wanting to spend downtime with them, wanting to close the door and have that one-on-one, and wanting to nurture that space that you'd create together. Those of you who are open to meeting someone new, I would say very likely, because so much love is happening on the home front, I would look around to what's happening there. If people are coming in and out for any reason, whether it's, actually working on your house or your living space, or if you have a roommate and they're bringing somebody over, I would pay attention right about now because love could very much just show up for you. Hello, Fabulous Gemini. This week, we've got this full moon happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with money. Really, it has to do with what we call other people's money. So this is grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, any benefits you might qualify for. And this is the very area of life that you want to watch a little bit because there can be some ups and downs. There can be some unexpected happenings taking place here. So just be mindful of that. Ultimately, it's nothing that isn't going to be something not only manageable, but ultimately you knowing what steps you can take to empower yourself and to make things go in a direction that you desire to go. This can also be the sudden awareness that there is something, some funding, some money that you might qualify for that maybe before you were told no. This could also be the ending of such benefits as well. So just be aware of that. It does look like some of this news might come up a little bit by surprise. This can affect a little bit of, again, this isn't necessarily income, but in the bigger perspective. So I'm thinking about like if you have a mortgage or you have a loan of some kind, there might have been a document that didn't get signed that needed to be received at a certain date. This is going to be you being able to find that out and being empowered to actually go and do something about it. So sometimes these lessons, I think, do come up to remind you that there is prosperity in your life, and that ultimately is the higher lesson that's playing out here. And for some of you out there, I think you might surprise yourself by realizing that there is tremendous prosperity available to you. It might take a little bit of patience, it might take a little bit of asking, or a little bit of a refined approach to get you there, but the resources you need are absolutely there for you. When it comes to matters of love, when we've got this part of the sky so lit, it is the meaningful connection, the deep connection that is most desired. And if you're in an established bond, this can be a time of breaking past any kind of, whether you want to call them veils, whether you want to call them any kind of walls, any kind of protective barriers, breaking past some of those to feel that much closer to this person that you love. Now, interestingly, this full moon can also bring a little bit of a change. Possibly for a small percentage of you out there, some changes to your spouse's income can happen with a sky like this. Those of you open to meeting someone new, we do have Venus moving through a super harmonious, quite a harmonious position to you, and sort of your house in the sky, if you will, which says that you talking, you being spontaneous, you connecting with people online or in person is the best thing that you can do right now, because it is those very things that very likely could lead to a very genuine connection with the real possibility to take you into the long term. Hello, Fabulous Cancer. This week, we've got that full moon in your opposite sign. It is all about love, partnership, and one other person in particular. So you connecting with somebody else, having that one-on-one exchange, whether it is for business, mutual prosperity, or for love, is going to very much be in the spotlight now. As I look at this particular sky, this is a full moon after all. So full moons, generally, we can kind of feel them coming, and it's not generally a surprise, but this full moon does have a surprise quality to it. So if you've had any kind of changes or any kind of unexpected happenings as of recently, or even just feelings, right? Feelings changing where it comes to a partner. Now, I'm going to start with business, right? So if you're in any kind of business partnership with someone, if things have been kind of uncertain, or it feels like you haven't had all the answers you needed, this is where that clarity can come. And this is where that clarity can actually surprise you a little bit. It can seem to come out of nowhere, but ultimately this can end up being incredibly empowering to you, to understand something about this person that you either were partnered with or are partnered with right now. This ultimately says something's got to change within that dynamic if it's going to continue. But also this is asking for you to make a decision. And that's where Mars speaking in harmony comes in, because what this says to me is that ultimately it is you that is deciding the best way to move forward. Now, a lot of you out there though are going to experience this energy rather in love, right? So a lot of you are going to experience this energy in love. If you're open to meeting someone new, there is going to be someone there for you to bounce some of these lessons off of. That's what happens when we've got major activity in your opposite sign, as we do now. So you can expect, and again, it might happen very much by surprise. Somebody might come in, but they might leave as well just as quickly. It is possible with energy like this. But ultimately, this suggests, this movement of somebody coming in now does suggest that you get some very powerful insights into where you are in love, how your past and the future you envision has contributed to your understanding of your options available to you in love, and where it is that you most desire to go next. If you're in an established bond, then this week is going to be very important to that very bond. Some unexpected news about your partner could very well come to the surface right now. What you do with it, totally up to you. And again, it doesn't have to be anything, shocking or changing or anything like that. It might, but it could be something that you've kind of known, and now you get the affirmation, and the affirmation, the opportunity for the affirmation comes about very much by surprise, comes about sort of out of nowhere, but ultimately will be just what it is that you need to help yourself to understand the direction in which you are heading with this person, and help you to make a decision. How committed are you? And if you are committed, then this can be a time where you realize that as more and more is coming to awareness, ultimately this is empowering you to move towards that person that much more. But the opposite is also true as well. I gotta say, if you're in a relationship and you know that is not the right relationship for you, then this can be just the insight you need to finally make a change that you have felt coming for a while. Hello, Fabulous Leo. This week we have got Venus and Mercury in your sign, speaking in supreme harmony with Saturn. Now, I know there's a lot of other stuff happening and a lot of other stuff that's likely going to get your attention, mainly the full moon that is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with work and the workplace. And that could very well take a whole lot of your attention right about now. But remember, Mercury and Venus in your sign are speaking with Saturn, which says you are solid. In fact, you understand what it is that you need to do to strengthen yourself and to stay strong. You can see very quickly, perhaps more than others out there, you can see that much more quickly how whatever's transpiring now is working very much to your advantage. So there is blessing now. There is you moving towards greater happiness and greater stability. A lot of you out there are going to experience that part of it, the happiness and stability part, in matters of heart, in matters of love. If you're open to meeting someone new, this is one of the best skies you're going to see for having a genuine connection with the real potential to be a long-term one. For those of you in an established bond, you are feeling the love. You might be talking about babies, if that applies, okay? That could be part of the conversation, but certainly feeling a deepening of your desire to love, to be loved, and understanding where you are and where it is that you're going in the context of love. Very much a part of the picture. But then we've got that full moon, right? And what that's saying is changes in the workplace is what it comes down to. People might be coming or going in particular, and very dramatically, very much by surprise. It might be that there have been some dynamics playing out that you weren't so aware of that now come right up to the surface, where you realize that certain people were not the way that you thought they were. Maybe someone's been really nice to you. It's been smooth going, but behind closed doors, they've been really mean to a whole lot of people. That very much could happen under a sky like this. So information is coming out. It's possible that a coworker leaves right about now, or an immediate supervisor. But ultimately, you are strong, you are stable, and you very quickly understand how what transpires now is actually helping you to go in a solid direction. Hello, Fabulous Virgo. This week we have got this beautiful, beautiful sky. Well, it's an active sky at least, and a surprising sky at that. What makes it beautiful is these super solid connections between Mercury, your ruling planet Mercury, and Venus with Saturn. So what this connection says to me is that something within you is understanding that what's happening is good and is moving you towards greater stability and security. Particularly where it comes to matters at home, whether it's where you live, whether it is your own feeling of being at home, you're about to feel a whole lot more comfortable and a whole lot more steady right where you are. This also can be some good news where it comes to a parent or with your family of origin. So we've got that. That's really nice. And then what we've also got is a very active full moon. Full moon with a whole lot of energy to it, electricity to it as well. Now this full moon is happening in a romantic part of your sky. And it's happening in a part of the sky that has to do with not only love, but flirtation and happiness as well, fulfillment as well. And these are going to very much be on the surface. These questions are going to be on the surface. This also has to do with your children as well. So there might be some, unexpected news around a child, ultimately very empowering. Ultimately, you know just what it is that you need to do to be a part of any happenings that happen, or to be a positive effect on whatever it is that transpires. Also with this particular energy as well, you could end up, if it applies, right, depending on your age and what's happening around you, this could be a surprise pregnancy, like a pregnancy really coming out of nowhere, really taking you very much by surprise. So keep that in mind. It's lots of fertile energy here. Now, if that's something you want, that's awesome, but it still might surprise you. So lots of fertility energy in the air. And yeah, kids could very much be a part of that. But also this is creativity. This is happiness as well. And this can be some fresh insights, and possibly insights that seem to come out of nowhere that help you to realize where it is that you could be doing things different in order to be happier. And I think that insight might surprise you, and it might even be in your relationship. So this could be that insight that says to you like, oh wow, okay, this is how I'm contributing to the love that I have, and this is where I could be doing better. So that can be part of this energy. And if you're open to meeting someone new, I think you might find you could have a very sudden and very powerful attraction to somebody, a flirtation that seems to move very, very quickly, very, very fast. I wish I could say there was more stable energy around this. There isn't. So what I would say is stay in the moment and know that as you're meeting new people now, they've got, like all of us, we're complex. We've got whole other sides to us, and that you are getting one side, and let it be something that you can enjoy, make the most of right now. Hello, Fabulous Libra. This week we have got a full moon happening at the very base of your sky, marking an important turning point for you, marking an important change for you. Now, this particular full moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with home, as in the place that you live, as in going home. It has to do with your family of origin, your parents, and your living space as well. It has to do with roommates also. So all of these are areas in which big changes can happen, surprising changes can happen. And ultimately, it is sort of a truth, if you will, of what has been under the surface that can come up and become that much more apparent. So if there have been in your living space repairs that have been put off, this is where they could come up now and be like, okay, you cannot postpone this any longer. This is also where if you've had some issues with a roommate, this is where they become crystal clear and you may have to make a choice. This could also be a roommate telling you like very quickly, sort of saying, I gotta go, which can happen. Some dramatic changes can take place under a full moon like this. It could be that very quickly you have to be home. You've got to go home. And it may also be with a sky like this that you have to be present or be there and spend some time with a parent or with their family of origin, where it is that that applies. Can also be part of how this energy manifests. Ultimately, you are empowered. Ultimately, you feel strong. You're moving towards greater strength and greater stability under this energy, particularly where it comes to money and finances. We've got Mars moving through a financial part of the sky, speaking in harmony with this particular full moon, speaking in supreme harmony with the sun, which tells me that you are making moves. Good things are happening financially, and it is benefiting you at home or with those with whom you are at home with. When it comes to matters of love, we do have Venus moving through the part of the sky that has to do with friendship. Friendship and love very much mixing right about now. This could be a time if you meet someone new through a friend or a friend desires to be more, there's real potential there for this to be something long-term. And if you are in an established bond, this is going to be feeling that sense of connection, particularly through talking. A conversation now could help you feel that you are with your very best friend. Hello, Fabulous Scorpio. This week's full moon is speaking to a part of the sky for you that represents siblings, cousins, neighbors. These people very likely might have a surprise for you, a surprise that seems to come out of nowhere. It might be some news, or it might be something that you find out that they don't know that you know, that catches you a little bit off guard, that gives you a whole other perspective that you did not see coming, but ultimately allows you to make a smart choice and a smart plan of action going forward. It could also be that a sibling or cousin or neighbor, for that matter, confesses something, reveals something through conversation that makes you really say, wow, I did not know that about you. I did not see that coming. Now, it could lead you to laugh it off. That's part of this energy, or not. Also part of this given sky. Also with this particular full moon, I would be very mindful around what you are saying to coworkers. Gossip at work, and also emails as well. You really want to watch those emails. Don't say anything in an email that you wouldn't say to somebody like face to face. If you are talking about somebody else, do not put it in writing is my very, very strong recommendation under a sky like this. Chances are it will not stay private. Very little is likely to stay private, especially on the work front and in the workplace. So just keep that in mind. And communications really are key to being, a little bit graceful, a little bit discreet. Just be a little bit mindful, especially around the water cooler. You don't know who it is that's listening. And this could also be a time if you're self-employed, where you do want to watch your own, how you're communicating with others, how you're communicating with your clients, and make sure that you're going over what you're saying, because you might end up not realizing, but a typo here and there gives your communication a whole other message. So you just want to be mindful of that, because you could have a very strong and unexpected reaction. And that's what you want to sort of steer clear from. When it comes to matters of love, we do have Venus moving through the very top of your sky right now. And what this says to me is that you are thinking big picture in matters of love. Now, this particular Venus is speaking with Saturn now, which says the clarity that you're gaining now, the understandings you're having now are benefiting you in the bigger picture of your life. If you're in an established bond, you're making big plans with the person that you love and strengthening that commitment. If you're open to meeting someone new, it is those people who are where it is that you aspire to go that are going to be the most captivating. Hello, Fabulous Sagittarius. This week, we've got this full moon, a very busy full moon, a very active full moon happening in a financial part of your sky. This has to do with money that you earn, an income, a salary, and also your spending. Money that comes in, money that comes out, covered under this particular full moon. And there could very well be changes along these fronts. This could be a time when a large expense shows up. It does happen, okay? And it could come up seemingly out of nowhere, but ultimately there's a very empowering energy in the air right now and a very stabilizing energy as well. So it tells me that whatever expense comes up, it's actually part of a bigger, more positive picture of your life. So very well might be worth the investment. This energy also says changes in income, okay, that you didn't see coming. And ultimately you are empowered by. So even though this can suggest some ups and some downs, remember the ups are there as well. And as much as there might be things changing and it can feel a little bit like, you don't know which way the wind is going, this can actually be really enlivening, really, really thrilling as well as you start to conceive of new ways and bigger ways to actually bring in even greater money than you have before. Where it comes to matters of love, we've got Venus moving through super harmonious fire sign Leo. And what this says is that you are in your element in matters of love and the best of you, like you bringing forth the best of you, that sense of adventure, the sense of possibility, the sense of exploration. All of that, there is this supreme blessing happening under this sky, which says that all of that ultimately leads you in a direction of feeling more stable, of feeling more secure within yourself. And if you're open to meeting someone new, you very well could have a meeting not only of hearts, but minds and values as well under a sky like this. If you're in an established bond, I think there's very likely to be a totally agreeable yet very passionate conversation. Could be politics, could be matters of belief and values as well. But the two of you are on the same page, and that leads to a deepening of commitment to each other. Hello, Fabulous Capricorn. This week, we've got that full moon in your sign. This is powerful. Having this kind of full moon in your sign says that secrets are revealed that ultimately change the way that you understand yourself on a very deep level. This ultimately can be very empowering. This is a truth whose time has come and ultimately will empower you to move your life forward, powerfully forward in some cases. And I am seeing as I look at this sky that yes, it might surprise you, and yet there's something in you that feels a little bit relieved to have like kind of cards out on the table. Now, this is going to be related to matters near and dear to your heart. Love very much could be a part of that. But this could be related to just about any area of life. If it matters to you and if it relates to who you know yourself to be, that is where you can expect happenings to take place and things to be changing for you. So, truth is coming forward. It empowers you to decide on your direction, and then you take bold action to move you in a very positive direction. Let those emotions rise. Let that clarity come. Ultimately, this is going to be a very good thing for you. What I also really love about this particular energy is that there's a sense now of progress, of movement. There's a sense now that life is changing and that you are ready for it to change. We've also got Venus and Mercury moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with what we call other people's money. So this is like grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, that kind of thing. And what this tells me is that you very well could have a secret beneficiary show up for you. So if there's some big dream that you are going for, this is the time to just put a little bit of intention and a little bit of action, and you very well could find yourself with funding towards a big goal or big dream for your life. Also, we also have happening right about now over the course of this week with Venus doing her thing and this full moon in your sign. This, of course, is going to speak to matters of love as well, because that tends to be very close to our hearts. Regardless if you're in an established bond or you're open to meeting someone new, that surprise element is there, but it is a truth that needs to be understood. And it's not always what you think. So what I mean by that is, if there has been an aspect of someone that you are getting to know, or where you are in matters of heart and love that you haven't wanted to look at, this is where it's going to become very blatant to you. If it has been that you have been maybe not as good a partner as you see yourself as being or aspire to be, this is where you're going to get that insight as well. Ultimately, this is an energy of truth and honesty, just coming out into the bare and stark light. So that's what you want to watch with this. Ultimately, it is truth that frees us more than anything. And it is truth that also empowers you now and empowers you to experience greater love and more love as you see where you are, your role in it, and where it is that you truly desire to be. You can't help but experience more love as a result. Hello, Fabulous Aquarius. This week we've got an active sky, and we've got this full moon happening in the sign just before yours. And this full moon is speaking to matters that are hidden, that are low key, that are behind the surface. And with this energy, there's a few ways that this can express itself and experience itself. Now, this can be because of the way that Uranus is speaking. This can be a surprise that comes to the surface that you just were not so aware of before. And ultimately, this is a surprise that empowers you, that motivates you to move forward, that strengthens you to move forward. Ultimately, this is a surprise that helps you to feel that much stronger. And that's great. And especially where it comes to you understanding where you are and why you are, whether it's in terms of your career and the big picture, whether it is in terms of you understanding what's worth pursuing because of that connection with Mars, or whether it is that there has been some compromise that is too dear to you, where you've compromised something of yourself for the sake of whether it's work or a project or love as well. This is where it's going to come up to the surface. Now, a lot of times, as I've been saying, it's not always what you think. This is Uranus after all. So this very much could come out of nowhere, and it could just be you. Like you realizing what your own motivations are, you realizing what you really need to heal and to heal deeply. In fact, this kind of energy can have like sort of that emotional penny dropping that lends itself to some type of a faith-based healing or spontaneous healing. Could be part of this energy as well. Again, there's that spontaneous surprise quality to it. And even if it looks like you're not sure how to deal with it on the surface, going a little bit beyond that, this actually could end up being very, very good for you. So I would pay very close attention to what is happening for you now, to how things are transpiring for you now, because ultimately I think it's all going to move you in a very positive direction. And it's all going to move you in a direction where you're going to start to feel that much clearer on an energy of spirit and on an energy of mind as well. Where literally with a sky like this, the truth comes up, it feels a little uncomfortable, but then you let go and you feel lighter, you feel freer, you feel more enthusiastic and empowered about what you could do in the world and about your greater sense of purpose and sense of direction. When it comes to matters of love, you've got Venus and Mercury moving through your opposite sign, and both these planets are speaking in supreme harmony with Saturn, your ancient ruling planet. Love is good. Love is really good, or at least the love is true, and love is something where you are making a solid decision, a grounded choice. So love and partnership is a good area, okay? So that's one thing that you can rest assured of and feel happy about. because it is love ultimately that is going to allow you to understand something about not only what partnership is supposed to be and what love is supposed to be, and help you move towards that. If you're open to meeting someone new, this is an amazing sky to connect with someone with real long-term potential. But also, if you have love, this kind of energy solidifies love that much more, makes your partner that much more valuable. For a small percentage of you out there, and I mean tiny percentage of you out there, if you've been in a bond, in any kind of partnership, romantic or business, where it has served its purpose long ago, this is going to be that final acceptance. But for the vast majority out there, in an established bond, you are going to feel like it is that much more solid and securely with you. Hello, fabulous Pisces. This week, we have got this active full moon playing out. And this full moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with friendship. So you can expect a friendship to go through some change, some evolution, some moment of truth that might catch you a little bit off guard. You add to this, there's a financial connection here as well. So I would be very mindful about mixing friends and money right about now. It could lead to some very dramatic changes, okay? And in some cases, losses as well. So just be mindful of that. As I look at this particular sky, it could also be a friend who reveals something that is, or you find out something about a friend that really does take you a little bit off guard. It might even have you like sort of considering your own sense of self-value as well. I'm sorry to say that is one way that this energy can play out. So just do keep that in mind. But ultimately, this is good. This is a little bit of a shake-up to help you to understand the connections you have and the friendships you have, the groups you belong to, if they are what you think they are, and if they are something that's meant to be with you going forward from here. It could be that a friend or a group or some association that you belong to, it could be that one of these has actually served its purpose in your life, and you just need to see that a little bit more clearly, as very well might happen this week. So there is that clarity and that understanding, and there is understanding yourself more deeply in this process. When it comes to matters of love, we've got Venus moving through a part of the sky that has to do with the workplace, and it has to do with health care, like the little things you do to take good care of yourself. Daily rituals and routines can be covered with this energy as well. So as I look at this, I would say, actually, I'm fond of saying, be careful of workplace romances, because it's important, I think, as a general principle, to think big picture, because things can change. It's a part of life. And yet, when I look at this energy, we've got this stabilizing energy right now. And then moving forward, we are going to have some surprising, liberating, positive energy as well. This kind of sky says to me that, if you are open to connecting with someone new, and the workplace is a space for you to connect with other people, this could be a good sky to make those connections happen, actually, to be open to those connections and to those possibilities. So yeah, especially if new people are coming in and out of your workplace for whatever reason, and you see somebody and you feel a connection, that connection very well could be something that goes, that has a real potential to be a long-term kind of thing. For those of you who are in an established bond, I just see you wanting to spend that much more time and incorporate the one that you love more into your daily happenings. There might even be a desire now to work on some work-related project together that you hope will lead to greater prosperity or greater success in the bigger picture. Maybe working on something that you hope will be a successful side business. If that's something you've been talking about with the person that you love, this is going to be a time when you start taking that endeavor that much more seriously and have that more a sense of clear joint purpose together. Well, thank you so much to all signs out there. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.